What's up, y'all? We are back here playing the Modern Challenge with Mardu. I mean, this isn't a terrible hand, but it's definitely not good. I mean, actually, it is terrible. Excuse me. Don't keep hands with only one color of mana. This one we will definitely keep. Question is, what do we want to put back? I would love to have the two guides because that'll allow me to go turn 1 guide, turn 2 guide Thoughtseize. But I don't think we can afford to... I guess I'm going to put back the Bowmaster. It's maybe not the correct call. Probably should have kept the Bowmaster and put back a guide, but your first guide is almost surely going to die. And you really want to be able to stick one. Apologize if I'm very slow playing today. I am doing terrible. Physically, my arms and back are hurting so bad, so I'm gonna try to. Okay, well there's the Bowmaster anyway. So we need to get a Blood Crypt here so that we have all of our mana, or our colors. So, if we get rid of the Persist, they're not really going to have a whole lot they can do. But they don't anyway, so I think we get rid of the Fatal Push here. And that way we can most likely stick this guide for a turn. I mean, they're going to Faithless Looting here, and then they could potentially have something else. If they don't Faithless Looting, then great. That means we can Bowmasters in response, but we really just hope they do not draw a Archon here.
Forgive me. Sometimes I do get ahead of myself. Allow me to explain.
Gravity's a savage, back and wreaking havoc on the fascist theocratic. Leave the matic, no more hordes. Now I'm targeting overlords, ogre gore. I roam the noble board with bow and sword. Going forward like Kobe scores. And show me more, it's Mick Foley core, holy war. Roving force, descend upon lonely
I guess. Okay, so if I Bowmasters now, I'm not going to have the energy, first of all, so there's no need to do it here. If I Bowmasters, I'm expecting him next turn to either looting or play this Fable, so I want to get the Bowmasters down. But if I do a Johnny now, I'll still have a chance. He's going to play the Fable before the Faithless Looting, so I think we just go ahead and do this. Looks like he's passing, so he doesn't have a removal.
On the other hand, have no pretensions about being a hero.
Take cover when rhyme flies. My 5 guys are beef, take 9 lives. Mile high, from peak it piles right. On street, all concrete, hear loud cry. Knots left be mouth sized. Off top, raw drop, leaving your mouth wide. All not call cops screaming about die.
Here we need to have our double red. So we're going to get a Sacred Foundry, or not the Sacred Foundry, we're going to get the red-white Surveil land with this. We don't really need double black very often in this, but we do need double red.
So I'll be chilling in my spaceship, a still an honored facelift, center loaded caseless with all of the villains our heroes hated, lost to greatness. Faded in the gray mist, but dope enough to stay up in your playlist. Don't play with us, we know the coldest ancients. Knock it, of course.
I do not want to draw that.
We were shot from the source. Your birds don't even have the option to soar. We just glide throughout each eternity with different plots to explore.
There comes a time
So
when a house has been so damaged by termites.
we don't have a red permanent, unfortunately.
The termites
But what we can do we might as well just go ahead and Bowmasters now.
Diabolical.
Well, okay, let me, whoops. If we do this, this gives us the energy here to pump him. And then we can Bowmasters post-combat to flip after we get the free swing out. We don't want to do it pre-combat and not get the swing. Yes. Pump him. So unfortunately, if we Bowmasters here, he's going to know that we don't have any removal. But it basically cuts him off of being able to Yeah, I guess we will, because it's going to give us... I mean, even if he Archons here, it's really not the end of the world. Because we're going to have so many creatures. With the ghetto teachers, talk profound in a metal t-shirt. Keep the death or rather pedal heat birth. Trying to start around level 3 first. To stalk the grounds with the rebel geezers. Ruffling these pundits. My grub is in the oven of abundance. Customary umbrage. Just lucky to see people having fun with striking distance well within circumference. And if he does draw 2, then we can kill the shaman with the Bowmasters.
I had an opportunity to observe your counterparts quite closely. They were brutal, savage, unprincipled, uncivilized, treacherous, in every way. Splendid examples of Homo sapiens.
So,
the very flower of humanity.
I don't remember what I was doing in this match. But they are, well no, they're not Bowmasters, so we'll leave them. We'll cut the pushes. We have a bunch of cards that we want to bring in. The Containment Priests are mostly for this match. The Raven Charm can answer the graveyard to get rid of the Persist target. Or it can also kill the Archon. Draenith Magistrate technically can shut off the Faithless Looting, but that's not really a big deal. So, we would like the Seasoned Pyromancers in this match because it's kind of a mid-rangey back and forth, but we've got to cut something because I think all of these are better. I guess maybe not the Ghost Vacuum. We'll still have plenty of Graveyard Hate, and they're not mostly a Graveyard deck. I think we got to cut the Bombardment just to make room here. So, we can cut these 7. And that gives us room for these. Can even bring the Ghost Vacuum back in, but... I guess we'll leave the Goblin Bombardment just so we don't get rid of all of our red permanents here. The discharges aren't amazing, but it lets us answer the creativity. We can kill a Goblin Shaman in response, so I might change after this game, but we'll see. I'm just gonna roll with this for now. I think we can play this. It's not great, but
Uncivilized, treacherous, the very flower of humanity. Ode to the track, his vision so racked with lyrics no less than form disfigured, image grotesque. Passing the mic, he's happy to strike. Madness and might, his average strikes, love crafty.
I usually like to hold the Thoughtseize as late as possible. I want to get a threat down first, so he can present a clock. He's going to kill it, clearly. It's dead here, but at least it gets that out of his hand, and then that's one less card that we need to worry about thought seizing. But waiting as long as possible to thought seize, like basically the turn before they go to creativity, gives you the maximum amount of time for them to have set up their hand properly. If I just willy-nilly did it now, then he'd have plenty of time to get back, you know, to craft his hand before he needed creativity. And also we wouldn't have a clock, so.
Competition is winning. They never heard of attrition. They thought the end, the beginning. I'm on that turtle speed, ninja shit. Put me on
nice.
Back, I'm on that shrimping tip. Now you
so he's not gonna creativity. Yet, so we can hold this back. The Bowmasters I would love to be able to play, but I need to kill this Rin before it starts going nuts. Which I can discharge it and swing at it and kill it. And then I still have an answer for the creativity. But I guess I'm gonna do this now because he could technically persist this next turn. I guess I don't really need to kill this Ren, right? I'm gonna go ahead and get rid of the creativity. I could kill this, but I don't have any targets for it here. Guess if I don't kill it now, it's going to be difficult for me too. And he only has 2 lands here. So if I get rid of this, I guess I am going to go ahead and get rid of it.
He's boldly intense, behold his wit, going against things no one admits, reloading for shits, the sickest blob, quickest drop, probing event, spewing the illest hop, solely for hip.
I can't play anything here because I need to hold back the Containment Priest / Bowmasters, just in case. I mean, it's unlikely he's going to do anything crazy here. I guess if I... I'm going to put in Graveyard. It's not bad, but it's not a hate piece. We would like to get as many hate pieces as we can. They're going to have a difficult time killing us if we can get another Containment Priest, for instance, because he can answer the first one. I would love to be able to get this bombardment out, but if we can draw another land, then we'll be able to next turn play the bombardment and still hold up whichever one of these we don't feel like playing now. But if he can tap out, yeah, nothing I can do. I mean, I could have played something in response there, but I don't want to rush these out. I want to hit him with the Bowmasters in response to like a Faithless Looting or whatever.
long as we can battle, then you can know to meet a sword in hand if you come to engage. As far as we done travel, there's nothing you can do to see us rattle when you suffer in disgrace.
So he used his Fatal Push, so I'm going to go ahead and do the Bowmasters now. We know he has a Bosiju in his hand, so I think he's debating if he wants to play his 4th land or not, which he should play it, but that's up to him. I don't really have... There he goes, yeah. I was going to say, I don't have a ton of targets. Of course, I have the 1 bombardment in my hand, but he can't know that. This way, if he wants to draw with the loop, or if he wants to loot with the Fable, then he's not going to have a chance to Brotherhood's End before that. I need to hold this Containment Priest up. So I guess I'm gonna go ahead and kill this first. And then I can't get the 3rd. If I had drawn a land, well, I guess if I drew a land, then I wouldn't have been drawing the Ragavon, so. But technically next turn I might be able to start rushing him in.
Half distorted, the rich stay abreast as they have the poorest to fix bayonets. Vision stay in step to tell you to watch out right for the face of death. Play it left, they'll eat it up, knowing that
I thought this match was one of our worst, but I don't think so anymore. It just takes a little while to get used to how to play against it, but I think we are. Okay, so he did draw the bush, so that's unfortunate, but it's not the end of the world. It would have been very nice to have gotten him with that, but it is what it is. Yeah, so he killed him and only drew 1 with it anyway, so. So we know he has a Brotherhood's End. We don't know the other card. So he'll be able to make a dwarf in response if he wants to kill the Ragavon. I guess I am in a Containment Priest here, because then if he goes to Brotherhood's End it, which he's going to have to remove it, he will have to kill his own creature. And he has to get rid of this first, so unless he drew another Fatal Push, then he's probably not going to be able to get rid of it. Yeah, I would love to have another land here. If he wants to block the Ragavon, then again, he's not going to have any creatures. So I would love to be able to play the Bombardment and the Ajani, but I just can't. So I'm going to choose him, force him to choose if he wants to go for creativity or if he wants to kill my Ragavon. I'm just going to attack him and ignore the red. Try to get this over with as soon as we can here. Try to project your limits upon us. We're outerversal. This is timeless. And when we gaze up out into space, forget life, we're afraid of it being rhymeless. Graveyard dining, heat death, end of all time shit. Boltzmann brain, unevolved minds with full and complete memory, centuries long blindness. Being one with entropy, history long behind us. Oh, I forgot the Containment Priest gets rid of the Fable. So, never mind. Doesn't even, now he's clearly going to Brotherhood's End. Unless he can get him wine out, and then he can possibly still. He needs like a Fatal Push and a Creativity here to be able to get it off this turn. Come on, land. Okay, cool. So we don't know what he has in his hand here. I can just grab a Plains. There's no reason really not to here. So we want to play the Bombardment first. It's not a huge deal, but it lets us, you know, respond if he goes to kill the Ajani.
Last mass target, the vast barges crash task sergeant. Fuck high, when I hit grass I pass Martians. Rough ride, whole new propulsion I blast.
It would have been really useful to have one more creature out, but you know, whatever. Can't do anything about that. If summit found, the plummet's down. Silent violence, stuck between interlopers and Zionist nihilists. Mountain out of molehill and it's nothing to die on it. One eye on the prize, the other eye on the lioness. Government's lying, it's nothing to be surprised that we suffer in lying it. Chuck your prying eyes from the truth if you spineless. Better send the spooks in black suits if you spy on us. So he has a creativity here, so we might just be dead. But he doesn't have haste, so... Oh, he gains a bunch of life, so we're definitely screwed here. Oh, and we have to sacrifice a Planeswalker, so... Yeah, we're definitely dead. Damn it. So yeah, there's no card I can draw here.
Banging with the misfits, a changeling. Taking different angles when I spit shit. Amazing, a native to the Gamma Quadrant. Slaves to the land of bosses, a clan of nauseous. Top guns take to the...
Now, if I had an Arena of Glory, I could potentially get lucky with that fetch and get a Flage, but it doesn't help me here, so... Damn it, we were very close. We thought we had that one. So, do we want to do anything differently here? Potentially the Flage again. Maybe the Fatal Pushes, but I think we just go with what we have. That was, we forced him to have to get lucky, and he did, but that's okay. He drew the creativity when we were in a pretty decent spot to stop him. This isn't very good, but I guess we keep it. It's a very iffy one, but we can do some damage to him with these Thought Seizes here. Bowmasters is really good versus them. We have a response to a creativity with the Discharge. We saw last game how Bombardment can be pretty decent. I guess.
I knew it from the
I'm gonna get rid of the creativity and just hope that I can draw my surgical extraction. He's got plenty of removal, we already see that, so...
Gravitational space, I'm raw tidal. Puzzle the poem, it's all haiku. Peep the ultra combo to face, I've caused spinal. Leave the aberration in place for all.
So he's probably not going to draw any cards next turn.
With visions of war, hordes of the billions of swords lied to. That they tagged me a heartless heathen when after we pulled off a successful
But
sequence.
I'm still gonna do this anyway.
While the rest of us hard to see that the blasphemy to mastery path is the part of genius. So they
It sucks having to show him that we are leaving our mana untapped, but it is what it is. I could have played the shadowy backstreet here and then thought seized him, but again, I want to hold that back as long as I can.
tales through his art to the frail deacon. Planet of fools with nations that could only take you where animus rules.
If he hits an Archon here, we're kind of fucked. But he did not. Thank you.
Distance, fates, blinds, and kismet. Baselines, elate mind, space-time, dimension. Grace via mention. Mission finds the great climb ascended. With you and I chased by the ending. Predetermined, it's all luck. Your card sucks, so we coming over the top when we call bluff. Either promote or get your pawn stuck. You have to really have the nerve to ask what lies beyond the construct.
Nice.
I sit at the bar of infinity, ordering lives, where the joyful bliss of horror
I was going to play this bombardment
absorbing the cries, inordinate sighs.
so that I can get rid of this,
It's cheers to the misery. Why there's even
but
something at all peers through the mystery. Science is the artist.
I think if we can...
Ministry. No, I don't need linear cause. History's history.
Nothing in you intrinsically special. Sorry to upset you. Mine, I ain't gonna let you. Everything about us quantified and explored, so your claims of human divinity explode and destroy. All that shit that you love, twisting in likely social condition.
So,
Stories told by campfires.
I know what he just drew,
Because of opposition and lack of understanding, it was
because he played the land, and then he played the Ren, which neither one of those he had in his hand when we thought seized him the last time. So I know the 6 cards in his hand is 2 Brotherhoods in, Lightning Bolt, Persist,
claimed that we just rehashed and told the world that we trashed. They even called us artificial and said we
a Mine. Maybe I don't know the last one.
dish you. I hope it sounds familiar. Maybe do my
Oh, he returned another land, so it is the land again. So we do know what his hand is. So if we thought seized him here, what we can do is get rid of all the Brotherhood's ends with the surgical extraction. But I think it's more important to hold it until we can hit an Archon. So I don't need to thought seize yet. If we do this, then he can't really get out from under it. Oh, excuse me. He's we can save this thought seize for one more turn here, basically, is what I'm saying. But this gives us something to kind of do in response to his Brotherhood's ends.
Let me talk to you. Look, this was always the vision, always the plan. Majestic Comics, a GU. Reaper
But we can stop him from doing the persist here, so we can stop him from being able to
Valkyrie, unified.
do basically much of anything here.
Stoic progeny, low technology, roam the galaxy, we came to fly. Manifest software,
I guess I need to do this now.
even OBC. Tombstone, the dead man,
Should have swung first. I should have swung first, but it's alright.
Graydon Square.
I guess we lock him into doing nothing. He has nothing to do here except for 2 Brotherhood's Ends, so...
Zolakar, the first wielder, rose from Hrothgar's fires, wielding doom. He united the tribes and forged an empire, forever changing our fate. Our battle cry, submit or die. They don't consider why the slightest provocation. We waiting to let them lasers fly. Some even brave to try and battle back the state of top of Davenly and drop it fleet.
He's got a mine and 2 Brotherhood's Ends in hand. I could have waited. I should have definitely waited. That was dumb of me. Until after he got the goblin, so I could have killed it. And I could have held my discharge back. Hey. Entropy waving, no time to mourn your friends. The heralds of the void, the pearls of the spoiled, leave them curdled and boiled in fertile soil. We heathens in the name of the mothers, be flaming the others, and pain they will suffer and leave their bodies laid in the gutter. They never recover. Move on just like the locust does. If we think your plan is the shit, we take it over. It's so slow today. People are weakened, you all couldn't keep it, and for the glory of the empire, we took it and reaped it as ours. So this way, he's gonna have to get lucky with his draw before he can Brotherhood's End here. He's gonna have to do the Fable token or trigger before he can Brotherhood's End.
Hola, my friend. How you doing? Me? Well, I'm from the capital of first world problems. Issues, we're convinced the third world caused them. Our bank's too big to fail like it's awesome. The hard crooks walk while we jail all the soft ones. Nerd blasting rap.
This is a new album by Grade and Square, so that's why I'm playing just the whole album through here.
I heard them laugh at that, while our top brass gathers all the data and facts to be distorted. Presented to the citizens in images, position themselves to take advantage of their timidness. Now that you mention it, it's kinda like how Dwight D. Eisenhower envisioned it. Listen here, I tell you to avoid it, but you might have to deal with them while looking for employment. Pharmaceutical companies cooking up the poisons, suppress it cause you look like you inflamed. And we expect privacy from agencies who despise us, who know as long as they keep us comfortable we won't rise up. The right bluff will have them promise changes, making enemies the same ones Obama anchored. It's kind of funny that you say
Come on, land. We can play our Flage, although... do we even want to play the Flage here? I suppose so. It puts him in a 1-turn clock, and if he... So, let's see here. We know he did not draw any cards with the Fable, so he has a Brotherhood's End and a Dwarven Mine in hand, because he just played the Arid Mesa that he did not have a second ago, right? So you'd have to draw a creativity to get out of this. I guess I just go for it. If he top decks a creativity, so be it.
That's Peter Tosh, man. I know there are many imposters. Look like I, hear I, walk like I, talk like I. Wolves in sheep clothing.
So I don't know what the last card in his hand is. I'm healing him so I can get an extra energy. This is annoying, but it's at least forcing him to have to use all of his tokens. So he still has... Some of them are playing 3 mines, some play 4. But it shouldn't matter now. Very nice.